Hello and welcome to All in Wonder, a campus ministry podcast. We're here for another edition of the Senior Showcase. Really excited to be here with you. Our guest today is Thomas Lownds. Tommy is a senior who is graduating this spring. Tommy has been super involved in campus ministry and a lot of things. Everybody that we're kind of talking to here in this show, in this Senior Showcase, are students who really capture what exactly we hope and pray for in our student experience with the students, and that they all kind of bring something really unique to the table. And then when we all can figure out how to share those gifts, we can do something really special as a group. And so the thing that's cool about Tommy and what he brings, and what I'm really excited to talk to him about, is he's such an artist. He's such an artist of a person. He really brings an energy of creativity. It's really, really cool. And so we'll get into a lot more stuff. I'm going to zip it now. We'll bring Tommy in. So, and
Hello.
hey, there you are.
What's going
All right.
on?
Tommy, how are you?
Hi, Christian. How's it going, pal?
Good to see you. Thanks for being here and doing this.
I've been wanting to do this for such the longest time. I was like, ever since you started this podcast, I was like, I want to do an episode. And it's finally here.
Yeah, it's great. Well, you got to, behind the scenes here, you got to be in the audience for one of them, for Professor Ricciardi's.
Yeah.
You got to listen in on that one, the recording of that. So it's cool. So you've been part of behind the scenes, aware of this. So really great to have you on now as a guest, as part of this Senior Showcase. First, before we get started, tell everyone, what's your major? What are you graduating with? So what do you hope to do?
So I'm graduating. I'm majoring in therapeutic recreation, which is basically we create activities for people who just are underprivileged, or like we have like developmental disabilities or geriatric populations, the elderly, and we basically just try and give them activities to just stimulate them and try to give them a good time and of course a healthy time during their experience wherever they are, whether it's a hospital setting or a recreational setting. And I'll be graduating with a minor in music as well. I have a lot to do with music. Music has a lot to do with me. And I've also, graduating with a Bachelor of Science in 2021. So in about a month's time. It's crazy.
Yeah, you got a cool major, and I really like the way that you're figuring out how to use it, because you're using your gifts in music and sharing that. And I think that's just a really interesting field, because it's really, really important for people, especially those who are being medically ministered to have their brain and everything activated and to keep moving. And it's so important. So that's really cool. And I'm excited to see what you learn in your journey as you start your career. It's a really wonderful thing. What made you want to get into that?
Well, when I started music, I never really, apparently I started when I was 3 years old. I never really thought of anything of it. I was just like, oh, Tommy's very musically inclined. I never really started music until I was like in middle school, when my mom said, hey, do you want to try chorus for a little bit? Like, it might be fun for you. I'm like, okay. So I started off chorus. I didn't think anything of it, and my teacher was like, you have a nice voice. I'm like, thanks. Again, didn't think anything of it. It wasn't until high school where my musical journey really began. I started applying for other choirs to go to, like especially Metropolitan Youth Orchestra with Shoshana Hershkowitz, who is one of the greatest student conductors on Long Island. She's absolutely amazing. She led such a great group. She was starting out. We were the inaugural freshman group, which was really cool. We got to do such amazing things. I got to perform at Citi Field, sing the national anthem at a Mets game. I sang at Carnegie Hall. It was, and I performed at venues that I never thought or dreamed of. And, all this enthusiasm and all this passion that I felt through this helped me to progress further. I got into All County. I got into All State. I got to perform with some of the best singers in New York. And it was such a privilege to be a part of it. And it was just, I can't describe in words how it felt to be in a room full of such passionate musicians and just wanted to use music for a common good. It was just, I can't describe the feeling of it. It's wonderful.
How did you connect that to when you go to St. Joe's and you decide what to study? Because I think it's really, really wonderful that you were able to have the wherewithal to connect your passion and gift for music, and then with your career and what your education. So when was that? When did you figure out you want to do rec therapy?
Well, obviously, since in case any of you don't know, my brother has autism. I have a 24-year-old brother who's diagnosed with autism. So, and I've always ever since then, I've always wanted to. I always take really special care with him, especially,
Yeah.
and I always try to just try and be a role model for him. I always try and just treat him with respect. And I always wanted to. I always was fascinated on how his mind worked and how he what he wanted to do. Like what passions did he like what didn't he like? What did he not like? And it wasn't until I discovered rec therapy in which I realized maybe I can do this for a career. Maybe I can branch off from this and just try and help people recreationally. And it wasn't until I discovered that like I could use my music to help them. I was like, wow. I mean,
It's a great example of really, God's work in our lives because if anyone here listening has ever heard Tommy sing, and I'm not trying to blow your head up here, you are a really, really gifted singer. And there's people so I'm a singer. I'm not a gifted singer. I just know how to put a song to a guitar and like make a campfire fun. And then there's you. And like it's very clear that you were born with a tremendous gift of how to hear music. It's remarkable. And so that's a gift that's really, really unique to you. And then to be able to then say, okay, well, how else can this be at work? Is so cool and so awesome. And that's why I'm really excited to kind of just build that up right now and make you talk about this because it's really, really wonderful. And more people need to know about that. And then it's inspiring too for others to realize like, hey, I can use my gifts in different ways, I could do other things with them. And so that's really, really cool. So you're doing an internship right now, right?
yes, sir. I'm working at Medford Multicare
Cool.
facility where I work in the rec department. I absolutely love it there. Uh, the residents are really great. My bosses are really great, and my team. Oh my gosh, the team is wonderful as well. I love everybody there, and I actually, today I actually when I did a music program with this one resident, I remember I had a music program with this one resident. And after I finished singing, he would go on to tell me about all these things that he did with all these different other bands. He talked about how he worked with the Doobie Brothers, how he worked with Queen, how he worked with all these amazing stars. And I was like, and he was always, someone always tell me he was always like, always quiet. He was always like, kept it to himself.
Mhm.
But it was like music just brought it out of him, and it was like you really, you got something here. You really
Yeah.
did something pretty amazing. And I was like, I'm just trying to do what I feel is right, which is bring joy to people's lives through what I love to do. I
Yeah.
just I want them to hear some of that passion that I have, and I feel like I never want to do it for fame. I never want to do it for money. I will always and forever only be able to do it for the amusement of others and to just bring joy into people's lives.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Tommy. And I commend you for that because, we live in a society right now where many young people are challenged to feel that if it's not for, Instagram fame and all these other things, then what's it for? And that's, that's not how the real world works. It's really a matter of joy of the process. And so I think that's really great. And I think it's only the beginning for you. And it's so exciting to see what this is going to do for you and what you're going to do for others. And then this journey you're going to be on, it's going to be really cool. And it's cool to be a small part of like that, the train that's moving to be witness to some of it. So let's time travel a bit here.
I think you're more of like a huge freight train,
Oh,
honestly, because you oh my gosh, you
this
have
is
been
all
such
getting
an
cut out of the,
inspiration. What's that?
okay. This is all going to get cut out of the. I'm just kidding.
What? No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. You've been such an
Oh,
inspiration to
thank you.
everything I do. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without you. Honestly.
Thank you. It's the illusion of me. It's no, and I said
This
this.
is getting cut. This is getting cut.
No, this is all staying. It's the thank you. I appreciate that. But I
Yeah.
think I said it in Michelle's episode, or I said it offline with Michelle. But I think your story, Michelle's story, Josh, all of our wonderful students are great examples of not so much the freight train of like what someone can do, but rather when any type of office, especially a spiritual and religious office, is working as a team and we're all really in the weeds doing the work together. All of your success is an example of how it's working at its finest. Because I think as much as, yeah, I'm part of your story, sure. But I think so is Josh, so is, Carly, so is Michelle, so are the other students and all the different people that we interact with. And that's part of because of the way that everyone jumps in and gets involved. So it's cool. This is a really cool class. And that's part of why I wanted to do the senior showcase, because there's just so many of you that are just super unique, and it's a cool group. So
I've
um,
met so many remarkable people through my years at St. Joseph's.
yeah. So let's go
Like
back. Let's time travel here. You started St. Joe's. How did you get involved? Like what was it like? How did we meet? I'm trying to think.
I was I was touring St. Joe's, and obviously you were the first person that came. You came out of your
Okay,
office. You were like very 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 friendly. It was you were like
and
hi,
you
like
fell for it.
I I know
I-
I fell for it. I fell for the trap. But no, as I started out as a student, I was invited by the assistant campus ministry director, Steve. He
yeah,
invited me in, and he would just allow me just to sit and just talk, and it was just like, and then he would go on to tell me about all the great things that he
right.
did with the late Pat Tracy, which I wish I had a pleasure to meet, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, yeah.
yeah. You,
But
you meet people through other people.
yeah, it's absolutely like, and I was like, I want to be a part of that, and I was like, I could, you can use your faith, to do amazing things, and I want to be a part of that. And
Mm,
I started off slow. I obviously freshman year, I didn't really do much because I was still getting into the groove of like being a student. It wasn't until my sophomore year until I really started getting into it.
right,
I started going to soup kitchen. I started doing more activities. I started participating in more campus ministry events. I started going on trips, which
mhm,
I went to North Carolina. I went to New Orleans. So we went to Corey Beach, North Carolina, to help out with some hurricane relief. We were mostly focused on, spiritual work and building houses and saving people's homes, or just trying to make people's lives better, and also meeting new people who also have the same passion for what we do.
mhm.
It was really nice to see. It was nice to see that
So
I
this is
still have.
yeah. This is you're talking about your first trip with campus ministry.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
It was really nice to see and to be with people that have the same passion as you did. And I've
Yeah.
met some really great people on both sides, from Patchogue and Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, yeah, Brooklyn.
It
Mhm.
was yeah, Brooklyn was there as well. It was absolutely amazing. And yeah, I wouldn't take it back for anything.
And
I
you
created
you were
friendships that
you were at Soup
lasted
Kitchen
a lifetime.
too. At
Yes, I
Soup,
did Soup Kitchen
all right.
too. Every second Tuesday of the month, we would
Oh,
always
good,
cook up.
good.
we
You're
would
amazing.
always cook. We would always cook up something nice, and sometimes, oh, sorry,
There you
some we would always I whenever we would have free time, I would always come up with Christian and try to figure out what could we cook next. What could we try that's like not too much but
go.
just
Yeah,
enough. We would
yeah,
always like pizza. Should we try pizza? Should we try burrito? What should we try?
yeah. Mhm.
It was always so much fun, and the people that we met there they were also really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, and and watching people gather together, especially that was the best part.
yeah.
Being able to stay after at some points and watching them just like congregate and just act human again after they've been through so much.
Mhm.
It's really nice to see people act human again. It's kind of weird when I say that, but they kind of lose themselves when they don't have a home to go to, or they're just struggling. They kind of lose a part of themselves, and just seeing them just being able to communicate with somebody else just brings back a little bit of that humanity. It's really rewarding to see.
Yeah, so you're saying the individuals that we fed, like we would eat with, and like at the kitchens and stuff. Yeah, I agree. I think that's always the key aspect to anything we do and any service is that it's built on human interaction and that experience. Otherwise, you're just giving out Happy Meals. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Really, that's otherwise
and it's
you're
processed food, so Happy Meals aren't too much to go for.
well, yeah, that's all another thing. But it's really a value when people can connect and grow. So you got involved. You started doing different things. Like, what would you say was like was there like a turning point for you as to like when you felt like, oh wow, I'm in it, I'm loving this, like, yeah.
I think it was I know this one. Okay, I think it
It's not
was
a quiz.
when
It's not a
no
quiz.
no no
You're
no
like,
no 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 no
you're
no
like,
no
I
no
know
no
this one.
no 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 no. Like there was honestly there were so
I'm
many
more, I'm
turning
just
points.
curious. I'm just curious because I know
Okay, all right, okay.
all of my I have
I think
moments too.
I think it was when you took me to the Bronx for the first time. I
So
think
for viewers and listeners, the Bronx Soup Kitchen, run by the
St.
Franciscan Friars of the
Anthony's,
Renewal, the CFRs, got to give them a shout out because they are amazing. And
amazing.
they, by the way, if you don't know Tommy, and if other people don't know, they have some amazing Instagram, YouTube, podcast presence. They get like millions of views on stuff. They got movies being made.
Nice.
They are like so cool now. I'm like, I see some of them on TV, and I'm like, we're friends with them. They're awesome. But
We're
yeah,
associated.
yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
But the Bronx is a shelter that we would go to cook and eat with them and the men in the shelter. So yeah, continue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we were the inaugural group to go with you. It was
Yeah,
Jocelyn, Chris Smalls, Michelle, and me, and you.
yeah, yeah,
That was the real breaking point. That was when I like really opened up to like what I could give in terms of service to
yeah.
God. I mean, it was amazing. We hung out afterwards. It was like
Well,
we
you're not the first person. So we've gone to the Bronx shelter, I think like 12 times now before COVID, and I
mm,
have hopes that we'll get back there too when we can. And everybody that's gone on that those little, they're day trips. So again, for those that aren't familiar,
yeah, it
um,
takes the entire day.
yeah, it's a Friday. It's a Friday. We'll leave like around 1:32. We'll get out to the Bronx. We'll cook. We'll eat dinner. We'll hang out. You watch a movie, like or have some sort of community aspect with the people there, and then we'll hit the road.
Recreation.
Recreation, exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But everybody that's been involved has had that same amazing feeling of like, wow, this is a turning point. What were some of the elements for you that made it that? Because it is special, and I feel the same way.
I mean, I'm sure I speak for everybody when I say this. I think it's just like actually hearing people's stories and hearing people's experiences and getting to know people.
Yeah,
It was I mean, just hearing their backgrounds, like where they come from. A lot of them came from like different countries. A lot
yeah,
of them had some very unfortunate circumstances,
mhm,
and just to hear like how far they've come in life, and just
yeah,
for them to be able to get a break and just be able to have like something to smile about and a warm home to come to. It's you can feel like the sense of relief when you talk to them. Like I feel safe, I feel warm, and
yeah,
I feel like nothing could hurt me.
yeah,
It was really nice to hear, and it was one of the reasons why I always wanted to like just take a step further in in the service that I want to give to people. It really started from there.
yeah,
Technically, it started when I was in middle school, but
yeah.
this was the breaking point. This was when I was like, wow. I was like, I could really do something with this. I could really do some amazing things.
Yeah, you had an
And
aha.
it was
Yeah,
yeah, I had an aha moment. I had like
yeah.
a like ice. It was
No, it's great, Tommy. I think, when you start to put yourself in positions to have those moments,
mm,
um, you'll start to see that they'll continue to happen in different ways and at different phases in your life. And so you have your middle school one, and you have your these little buildups, and then you have this big one, and now you're getting ready to go start your career and your vocation, and then you'll have more of them, and it's a really wonderful thing. And what's super important, and I'm really happy to hear, is that you're in tune and aware of that invitation for those moments because they
of
happen to all of
course.
us. Not to get too preachy here, but God speaks to us all in those ways. But it's really up to us to be aware of that door and making sure that we leave it open and
Yep.
saying, yeah, I want that door to be open. I want to say yes to that. And so to hear you talking like this is really, really awesome. And it's beautiful. And I'm glad that the Bronx could do that for you. I mean, it was awesome for me too. Let's see some other things that you've been involved in. I know you won't bring this up, but I will because it was awesome. Didn't you win a talent show?
Yes, I did.
You, yeah.
Yeah. I won
So
the last talent show that we ever had before COVID.
the
So
last,
technically I'm like a 3-year champ. You know,
You're the
I'm the
reigning. Wow,
undefeated. I'm
I never,
undefeated.
I never thought of that. You were the reigning champ.
Yeah.
What did you sing at the talent show?
I sang a classic of Frank Sinatra, "The Way You Look Tonight," in the spin to have how Maroon 5 did it, which because
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Maroon 5.
yeah, I like that
Uh,
version. I like that.
yeah,
I like that version of their version of it. I thought it was really cool, and I loved how you did it. That was really awesome. Then you won.
yeah. It was such an unreal feeling.
Those were cool times, and that was a
Uh,
very fun. Again, talking about things that um, all of the seniors here have been part of that we're really proud of, and then things that we hope and are excited, not hope, but we're excited when they can come back and we can do those because it's such wonderful parts of what the school is. Yeah, that's some special stuff. What's going on in Tommyland here as you're getting ready to graduate? I'm sure you got a lot of stuff on your mind. You're doing a lot of things, and there's probably a lot of lists going on of
yeah.
like, all right, I got to get this done. But what else is going on in your world that is cool and interesting?
So I've taken it upon myself to try and expand my musical talents. I've taken up the piano. I've taken up the guitar a little bit. I'm still I've kind of focused more on the piano aspect because I
Yeah,
feel like less callous on the hands. Christian knows a lot about that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I've taken a job hunting. For now, hopefully I won't have to job hunt. Hopefully they offer me a position. That'd be really nice because I really like working there, and I feel like the residents really like me there.
cool.
So I hope they can continue to take me in and just to share my talents with all of them because we constantly get new residents in, and
Okay.
they're like they haven't heard you know passion yet. I hate to boast about myself, but I
No,
just I
well, I
just want I
think
just want to I don't want
let's
to I just want
reword
to
it
share
this
my
way.
gift.
Well, yeah, let's reword it this way: is that it's not that you're bragging or anything about. It's
Yeah,
that you know you're excited for the way in which they can experience music that you have. So like, while yes, they've heard music, they've heard passionate singers before. I'm sure if they've lived on this earth, we've all heard things,
yeah.
but it's you have a unique setting and a unique life experience where you're meeting them, where it could be received in a different way. Because if you really think about it, Tommy, most most things that we experience on the day to day are the same. Our lives are pretty cyclical. Everything, we know what holidays are coming up. We know, we fall into rhythms and patterns, and that's good. That's part of what we do as people. But every now and then, we can hear a different take on something that we've heard before that can really go, whoa. It's like when someone covers a good song or something, and something happens, and you go, oh, I never thought of it like that. And you have a unique opportunity there to bring people to revisit something that they might be taking for granted, gifts of music, art, whatever it may be. Um, and that's wonderful, and it's a special thing when you can do that.
On the topic of revisiting as well, I would have special times where I would go to a special unit designated to Alzheimer's patients, and the
Mm.
things that music can do for people with Alzheimer's or just memory loss, any
Oh,
sort of
wow.
memory loss disorder. It just like when you turn on like Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr. It just takes them back, even for just like 1 second. When you hear them like sing the words, just like when they feel like your mind is gone and you hear them just like recite some words that they might have heard when they were a child. I mean, that's what I want. That's the kind of stuff I live to
Great.
work for.
So, Tommy, you've had such a wonderful experience, and you have at the college, and you're full of experiences, and that's only the start, really. For us here at the college, we're witnessing you, and it's like watching a rocket go off. We're witnessing the preparing of the rocket, and now here you go, and you're graduating. What's something that you feel like you've really, really learned that as you prepare to graduate and you go forth, you're holding on to, saying like, "Wow, that was a really cool experience, lesson, whatever it may be that you are really happy about."
I've learned that people aren't as always as hard on the outside as they perceive themselves. I've learned that there are people that do care and are very mature. I've made
Mm,
some great. I've started some really great relationships with people. I've I've learned so much from them, and they've helped me through so much. It's
mm,
like the friendships that I created here would they're going to last a lifetime. I mean, I wouldn't take it back for anything.
I think if I could sum up like the best way to look at someone like you and what you've taught me through your experience and
I
what
taught you something?
everybody teaches everybody something. Oh, of course. Oh yeah.
Wow.
You're a great reminder of why we need to be in constant human interaction with each other and in conversations. And a lot of our conversation here is really talked about the need to be in community with each other. And so you're a great example of that. And I think that that's exactly what you're teaching us here through what you just said about saying hi to people is make sure you have that in human interaction, especially as we exit this COVID world. I mean, we're never really going to exit it, but as we prepare to kind of pick up the pieces here slowly, we need to pick each other up in that process. And so I thank you, Tommy, for the ways that you've picked other people up. You've taught myself, you've taught other people how to enjoy the little things. And it's a really wonderful thing. I'm really grateful for your experience and your role in campus ministry and the college as a whole. And can't wait to see what you do next, man. Best of luck to you. And thank you for everything.
No, thank you. And thank you for everybody that's ever helped me, honestly. Yeah, it's been an amazing experience, and I wouldn't take it away for anything.
Well, thank you so much for watching and listening to On Wonder here. Thank you so much to Tommy for being our awesome guest this week. Such a wonderful insight and a reminder of our need to be in community with each other and to be sharing gifts. You're noticing a thread here throughout these conversations about we all have gifts that we need to share, and we need to build each other up and figure out ways to use them in ways that are bigger than just for ourselves. So a huge thanks to Tommy for that reminder. God bless. We'll see you on the next episode.